All right, welcome to your final week. This is final exam review. I'm going to go over different questions and situations and concepts you should know. So hopefully this is helpful. And let's jump right into it. So I'm just going to go through ideas and concepts that I think are important to know. And you can look in your book to find those. And if you can find them, you will probably do well on the final. So one important thing to think about is different types of parenting styles. Know the difference between authoritative and authoritarian. Know what that could look like in a situation, like if a parent is always telling their kid exactly what to do and they don't listen to any other thing about it, know what kind of parenting style that is. Think about memory. Think about how it's affected with Alzheimer's. Think about research design. So if I give you scenarios where I tell you, these are the participants, here's how we're studying them, would you know that's a longitudinal study? Would you know that's a naturalistic observation? Know what different kinds of research styles are. With that parenting style, knowing what are the effects of that. If I am the type of parent who has open conversations with my child and I'm up for a healthy argument, what are some of the impacts, positive or negative, that can come from those parenting styles? Think about Erikson's theories. Know the different stages and what goes on in each stage. Think about as we're really young, what are we trying to find? As we get older, what are we trying to find? And the opposite of what happens. As you think about social emotional development and how we have different relationships, what is important and what appears during infancy, what appears during play, that really helps mold that. Know about the difference between the different types of childhood. Why is middle childhood known as that sandwich generation? Think about how faith and religion exist later in life versus earlier in life. Think about as we move through adulthood, what stages are we in when different things happen? When our hair starts becoming gray or we start noticing our wrinkles, what stage of adulthood are we in? Know about midlife crises. By the end of middle age, what's important that everyone really needs? Remember crystallized intelligence versus fluid intelligence. Think about why does one decline in later adulthood? When we're really looking at memory, I want you to think about a couple things. One, how do we increase it or help increase it as we get older? Another, what changes do occur that start to hinder our memory as we get older? Definitely know different attachment styles. If you saw those in situations, if you knew someone as an adult was really uncomfortable being close to people, you just can't let yourself depend on people completely. What attachment style would that be? Thinking back to Erikson, what were some precursors that he said existed to intimacy in a relationship? What about commitments to one another? What did he say we needed to have happen for those to happen? Maybe know the average height and weight in middle adulthood. Think about in being middle-aged, what physiological and physical changes take place. As we move into the ending of life, think about if someone were to go into hospice, what would you expect would happen next? Know about living wills, know about DNRs or do not resuscitate orders. Know what happens if we immediately stop breathing. What type of death is that? With end of life, think about what are the different brain disorders that we've talked about in here that have to do with memory eventually fading and language eventually fading. Think about what we know about smell and taste of the elderly. Think about just coping with death and dying. When does a brain death occur? What pieces of a living will do you know about and are important to know about? If we successfully age, what are 3 main factors that contribute to that? So I think if you know a good chunk of those, you'll be on the right path to passing this test. Really, really proud of all the work you've done. I hope you've enjoyed this class. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Do remember that this is coming up due the week after this one. And otherwise, really great job.